Right, I'll tell you a short story that just happened to me. And the story goes like this. No, no, okay, okay, good. Okay, good. I was just now in Miron for Lag BaOmer. There's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that are up there. You'll hear all sorts of different numbers. I myself, when I came back, I heard, the Israeli media, they play it down very much. There's only tens of thousands, but usually, I just saw myself. Maybe I'll send the picture. Not that I know how to estimate exactly the size of a crowd, but there were a lot of people there. I mean, it was this line, a huge line to go. Anyway, and so how does it work? It works that where the place of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's burial is like up on sort of this hill, and there's this building that there you go inside the building, and people go there and they pray, they rejoice, they dance. Everybody's dancing, is happy. And so I took my tefillin. I went there in the morning and I prayed. This was in Lag BaOmer in the daytime. I prayed, not inside. It was impossible to get in there because it's all super crowded. But outside, there's all these minyanim people praying. So I finished praying. And I was walking back home. My son lives about a half an hour away from this place. So I'm walking back, and I took my tefillin out. And on the way, I'm asking people if they want to put on tefillin. If they want to put on tefillin. So I did this actually every day that I went up to pray there, which I guess comes out to be 5 or 6 times. So I came back with my tefillin. And so one time, I asked, this is not the story I wanted to tell, but this is in the way. One time, I asked these. Well, first of all, a lot of the policemen had put on already. The whole, what do you want to call, demographic situation is changing in Israel. More and more people are, I don't know if you want to call it becoming religious, but they're doing the commandments. They believe in God and they keep Shabbat and but they don't want to be called religious. Maybe they don't walk around with a kippah on their head. They don't want to affiliate with any group or anything. And that's really what the Lubavitcher Rebbe wanted, that people should just act like Jews, not a Jew puts on tefillin, a Jew keeps Shabbat, a Jew. So a lot of the soldiers, okay, so I went to one, and there was this stocky sort of a policeman there, and he said, okay, he'll put on tefillin. And I put on, he said, wow, this is years. I don't think I put on tefillin since my bar mitzvah, this is years. It's like, and he kept saying over and over again. So there was a woman there, a young lady. She was, he must have been maybe 20, and she was also this. So she starts asking me, listen, Rabbi, I did bad things. What should I do in order to? And they're sort of joking around because they never talk about this stuff at all. So I did bad things. So I said, listen, you ever killed anybody? She said, no, I killed anybody. Listen, if you never killed anybody, killing, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. But any other sin, you just ask God forgiveness. That's all. You just speak. Talk, you don't have to speak in public. Just alone. Just say, God, forgive me. And it's best if you detail what things you did that you want to have forgiveness for, and say, listen, I'll try not to do this again. I promise I will try. And if you do it again, whatever you did, then just ask again for forgiveness. Anyway, she was very, very thankful for this. And the guy was saying, wow, that's really wonderful. This, these words, and the world was so, so dark and so this and this. Anyway, so he was very thankful, and they were very thankful. So this gave me a big encouragement also to know that, a lot of times you approach people and you think, listen, what am I butting into their private life for? And even though I've been doing this for 40 years, I still have this, this block or reticence or whatever you want to call it. Okay. Now the story I wanted to tell. So this was yesterday. So yesterday I'm walking back and I was pretty tired. The fact is, and they have a new committee. Every year there's a new committee so they redid the roads and the directions. So you had to walk like twice as much. Any case, so I'm walking and I'm feeling pretty tired and pretty miserable about these people, that they changed the roads. What do they have to do that for? And suddenly there comes this fellow. He was working down below. Like I say, it's on a hill. So he came like from the other side of the hill. and he was bald guy, maybe in his 50s, big sort of a fellow. So I said, Ata Yehudi, are you Jewish? So I said, Shalom, Shalom, hello. She said, oh, Shalom. He said, are you Jewish? So he said, no, Mama, Hebrew, Mama Yehudi, Russian, a Russian guy. And he didn't know Hebrew. He didn't know English, didn't know Yiddish. And I don't know Russian. Allah, yeah, 3 words though. So he says, Mama, I said, oh, Mama, Ata Yehudi, Mama Yehudi. He said, no, oh, Rock Mama, only my mother is Jewish, not my father is from Poland. I'm not Jewish. So I said, no, my mother, I said to him, my mother's also Jewish. He says, no, okay, good. So I said, here, put on tefillin. What is this? Mazet, what is it? So I said, tefillin, doesn't know what it is. Doesn't that? So I take it out. He sees that I'm a nice guy and I'm talking to him. I'm a rabbi, I have a beard, I'm smiling, I'm not trying to do anything to him. He can't figure out what this is. He's never seen this in his life. I mean, he really doesn't really think he's Jewish. So I said, your mother, you're sure your mother is Jewish? She says, yeah. She said, usually in Russia, a person doesn't say he's Jewish unless he's Jewish, because it's not a good thing to be Jewish in Russia. It's not a good thing. It's not a thing you're like, it's socially acceptable or something like that. It's a thing to try to get away from or avoid as much as possible. But so you don't say you're Jewish. Anyway, so if a person does say he's Jewish, usually that means that he's Jewish. Okay, so he said, so I took out the tefillin, and I started putting on his hand, and she's looking at this, and he's sort of, he's afraid that maybe I'm going to do something to him. Maybe it's a trick. So he says, what is this? So I put it on his arm. I said, make a blessing. I said, Baruch Atah. I said the first 2 words or something, and then he couldn't say anymore because he was just sort of really very sort of worried. He thought I was a nice guy, but maybe not. And so I realized he didn't want to say the rest of the blessing, but you don't have to say the blessing. And it's a good thing, but you don't have to say. So I put it on his, really all you have to do is just 1 time around your arm and 3 times around your finger. That's the minimum what you have. So that's what I did. And then I took out the head tefillin. There's 2 separate commandments. The hand is 1 commandment, and the head is another commandment. So I took out the head tefillin. He said, no. Say, take. He doesn't want to do. So I said, okay. I said, good. Just say Shema Yisrael. 6 words. Shema Yisrael. You said after me. Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. He said, and he took up the tefillin. So that's it. I took him off. So he said, what is this? Mazet. Mazet. I'm a little bit of Hebrew. He could speak. He must have been working in Israel. Mazet. So I said, tefillin. I said, what? Tefillin. Tefillin. Said, Ani roeh Google. I will look into Google. I'll see. He said, okay. I shook his hand. And he walked over to the other side of the street, a little bit further down, like, I don't know, 50 meters down or something. And I saw that he was standing there and he was looking at his cellular phone. He was looking it up in the Google. So I looked over at him and he was looking at it and he looked up and he went, look, it was reading in Russian. So there is such a thing, tefillin. He didn't know tefillin. And Jews put on tefillin. And we have a couple of pictures of people with tefillin. And he looked like, I wasn't fooling him. And then I saw that he was looking at more and more, and he was more interested. And he looked up at me again, and he went like this. And I went like this, and he went. A Jew realized he was a Jew, and he did a commandment. The Lubavitcher Rebbe put tremendous emphasis on the Russian Jews. Tremendous, because he himself was a Russian Jew. The Russian Jews that were sunk in 70 years of communism, they didn't know they were Jews. Didn't know anything, just like this fellow. And just by amazing, incredible, miraculous, divine interference, as they realize who they are. Amazing. That's the story. Okay, that's my story. And now we'll learn Davar Malchut. What happened over here? Is this? Oh, here we go. Stop recording.